Hey guys, it's Misty with My Paper Cuts, and I'm coming on with a project share today for Jill Norwood's Open Collab Saturday Morning Makes. This is a collaboration that Jill started for everyone to participate. You can participate across all forms of social media. You just use the hashtag SatMornMakes so everyone can find your posts. Thank you, Jill, for starting this collaboration. I've really enjoyed it so far. It gives me an opportunity when I have the time to join in and show people what I'm working on, and I love looking at what everyone else is working on in all different forms of art. So thank you again for starting this. It's been a lot of fun. As for today's project, I decided to go ahead and do another Halloween project. I am a bit obsessed with Halloween. It is one of my favorite holidays to craft for. I just think it's whimsical and fun, or dark and scary, or simple and cute. There's just so many different themes you can do with Halloween, and I am a sucker for Halloween products. So for today's project, I did an altered wood item. So I bought a simple wooden cat at Michael's. It is one that can stand up. It's about 1 inch thick, so it can stand up on its own. I do have a before picture, but I wasn't able to insert it, but I'm sure you guys will get the gist of it. I also use this paper from Joann's. It's from Park Lane called Mysterial. I shared this in a haul recently. And this is the sheet that I used. It is the white with the moths. These papers are double-sided, but I love these moths, and I had a specific idea in mind, which is why I wanted to use this paper. It also comes in black with the gold foiling of the moths, and there's also a purple version where the moths are white. But I stuck with this because I kind of wanted to do a black and white and gold theme. So that is the paper that I used. And then I also use these 2 stamp sets, but they are definitely not the star of the show. I just use them for accents. So the first thing I did was I painted the wood just black, and I covered the front and the back with that paper. And then I'll go ahead and show you my project now. So here she is. So hopefully you guys don't think this is overdone. I had a lot of fun doing this. So as you can see by the back, I just covered it with the paper, which is inked a little bit around the sides. When I do projects like this, I like to trim the shape just inside the line. One, I don't like dealing with the mess of sanding everything down. And 2, when you sand down, you mess up your painting on the wood, which I also didn't want to do. So I just like to cut just slightly inside the lines because I also like how it frames. So with the paper, I stamped on it in a few spots. It's harder to see on the back because I didn't do it as much, but I did stamp using this text stamp here from Gothic Tapestry. I love this text. It's got a really creepy handwriting to it. And then I also used the spider webs from Unraveled. I love the spider webs that are included in that stamp set. So I stamped those in weathered wood, and I'll hold it up close so you can see, like, here's the spider web. The text is harder to see. I just wanted to add a little bit more to the paper. And then after that, I splattered it with Lindy's Gossamer Gold Moonshadow Mist. This is just a simple gold with a brown dye base. So you get, I like how when it dries, you get kind of little rings around the gold that are brown. I don't know if that's picking that up. But, so that was all splattered. And then for the focal point down here, I started with one of these frames from Prima. I used the small one in this set. So as you can see, it's got like some roses and a bow on the top. It did look kind of frilly, but I wanted a base to put my 31 on. So I used the small one there. Sorry for the motorcycle. I used the small one. I covered it with black gesso, and then almost everything is touched with a little bit of the white gold wax from Prima. This is one of my very favorite things. So the frame is hit with that, and then there is a little bit of the Tim Holtz grit paste in Crypt. I still have my small jars from last year that I'm working through, but I did buy the big jar because I love this stuff. And but I ended up covering most of that up. You can kind of see it behind the web here. The web is cut out with one of the dies that I picked up at the show in Mesa, this one, and I just cut out the centerpiece because I didn't need one that big. And again, I hit that with a little bit of gold just to dingy it up. The 31 is cut with my Cricut Joy, and that is 8 layers of heavyweight cardstock because I wanted it to be very three-dimensional. And the glitter is this Nightfall from last year. I love this glitter. It is so black but so shiny. It just, every angle it picks up the light. I just love it so much. And then around the edges of the frame are some, I always make black roses every year, and I just make and mold a whole bunch of layers, and I just fill up this jar. As you can see, I've used a lot this year because this was full. These are the few that I have left, so tonight I will be making more. But I just make lots and lots of layers so that I can make roses whenever I feel like it. So I made some like medium and small ones. The medium ones have gold stamens in the center, and the small ones have gold glass glitter in the center. And then of course they also have the wax on top just to tie them into the frame. This whole thing is on top of some mummy cloth, or you could just use gauze if that's all you have. That mummy cloth can be pretty hard to find. And then I wanted to bring out, I'll flip it over so you can see, there are feathers in the background of this paper, and I wanted to bring that out. So I used an old Tuesday Morning find. It's an old Seven Gypsies Architectures, and it was these feathers, and these are kind of like a rubbery sticker. And I took this one down here and I painted it with black gesso, and I hit it with a little bit of the wax again. And I had it originally under here. Hopefully if I move this you can see it there. You can kind of see it. Originally that's all there was going to be, but then I had a pick of feathers that has been sitting at my desk for quite a while. I think I picked this up at Michael's. Yeah, it's Ashland, so it must be Michael's. So I cut a couple of the feathers out of here, obviously not the red, but I went for the darker, more turquoisey ones, and a few of these smaller pieces. And I put those underneath there instead because I wanted more texture, more layers. So that is what you see under there. So unfortunately that feather got covered up quite a bit, but it's still there. If you're looking at it up close, you can see it. No regrets. And then what I really wanted to do, and why I picked this paper, was I wanted to fussy cut out some of the moths and then place them on top of where they are in the pattern so that they were three-dimensional and that they overhang the edges a little bit. So I did that with 3 of them, and as you can see by that shine there, they do have some diamond dust on them, and they definitely are three-dimensional. They are only glued down by their bodies so that I can fluff up those wings. But see, they are over the coordinating spot, so you can still see the wings underneath. And then around the neck, instead of a collar, I decided to go ahead and do this cream here is Sari Silk, and then I also have some crinkle gray and crinkle black seam binding tied into a loose messy bow there, just to have some, you know, fabric and texture on there. So that is my project today. Sorry that took so long to go over. I just wanted to go over the details. I hope you like it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.